Cosmic Consciousness, Navigating the Age of Aquarius. Welcome, fellow seekers of truth and transformation. Today we embark on an extraordinary journey into the heart of human potential, guided by the profound wisdom of Dr. Makeba Moring. For over 4 decades, this visionary holistic doctor has been a beacon of light, illuminating the path to higher consciousness and showing us how to harmonize with the cosmic rhythms of the Age of Aquarius. Her groundbreaking work has touched countless lives, sparking a revolution in how we perceive ourselves and our place in the universe. Dr. Moring's insights are not just theories. They're a roadmap to a more enlightened existence, a blueprint for creating a world where science fiction becomes science fact, and where each of us can tap into the godlike potential that resides within. Buckle up, my friends, because we're about to blast off into a realm where the extraordinary becomes ordinary and where the limits of human potential are pushed beyond our wildest dreams. Are you ready to have your mind blown? Are you prepared to question everything you thought you knew about reality? Good, because that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Oh, great, another woo-woo talk about cosmic energies and spiritual mumbo-jumbo. But hold on to your skepticism for just a moment, because what I'm about to share with you isn't some far-out fantasy. It's a reality that's unfolding right before our eyes, backed by both ancient wisdom and cutting-edge science. Let's start with a mind-bending fact. We are living through one of the most significant shifts in human consciousness in recorded history. The Age of Aquarius isn't just an astrological concept or a catchy song from the 60s. It's a cosmic phenomenon that's reshaping our world in ways we're only beginning to understand. Imagine, if you will, a world where the supernatural becomes natural, a world where the far-fetched ideas of Star Trek and Star Wars aren't just science fiction, but our everyday reality, a world where each of us has the power to shape our destiny and become, in essence, gods on earth. Sounds pretty awesome, right? Well, guess what? That world isn't some distant utopian future. It's happening right now, and you're part of it. But before we dive deeper into this cosmic rabbit hole, let's take a moment to appreciate the magnitude of what we're discussing. The shift into the Age of Aquarius is nothing less than a total rewiring of human consciousness. It's as if the entire human race is getting a massive software upgrade. And let me tell you, the new features are mind-blowing. Now, I can almost hear the skeptics in the audience rolling their eyes. Come on, you might be thinking, how can some astrological age change the way we think and perceive reality? Well, my dear skeptics, let me introduce you to a little thing called history. Picture this. It's 1781, and an astronomer named William Herschel has just discovered a new planet. He names it Uranus, probably giggling a bit as he does so, because let's face it, we're all a bit immature when it comes to that name. Little did Herschel know that his discovery would mark the spiritual beginning of the Age of Aquarius. Now, you might be wondering, what's the big deal about finding a planet? Well, hold on to your powdered wigs, because what happened next was nothing short of revolutionary, literally. In the years following Uranus's discovery, the world witnessed 2 of the most significant political upheavals in human history, the American and French revolutions. Coincidence? I think not. These weren't just changes in government. They were fundamental shifts in how humans viewed themselves and their relationship to power. Suddenly, ideas that had been radical and dangerous, like equality, individual rights, and democracy, were becoming the foundation of entire societies. It was as if humanity collectively woke up one day and said, you know what? Maybe we don't need kings telling us what to do. Maybe we can figure this out ourselves. But it wasn't just about politics. The Industrial Revolution kicked into high gear, transforming not just how we worked, but how we lived and thought about the world. We went from horse-drawn carriages to steam engines in the blink of an eye, historically speaking. It was as if humanity had chugged a cosmic energy drink and was suddenly buzzing with new ideas and possibilities. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's all very interesting, but what does it have to do with me and my life right now? Well, my friends, everything, because the energy that fueled those revolutions, that sparked that massive leap in human progress, is the same energy that's transforming our world today. Fast forward to the present day, and we're seeing another massive shift. But this time, it's not just about political systems or industrial processes. It's about our entire way of being in the world. It's about expanding our consciousness to what Dr. Moring calls the 4th and 5th dimensions. Now, before you start looking around for interdimensional portals, let me explain. These aren't physical dimensions we're talking about. They're levels of consciousness, ways of perceiving and interacting with the world that go beyond our usual three-dimensional thinking. In the fourth dimension, we start to see the interconnectedness of all things. It's like suddenly realizing that we're not just individual drops in the ocean, but part of the entire ocean itself. Imagine looking at your hand and not just seeing skin and bones, but the atoms that make it up, the energy flowing through it, and its connection to everything else in the universe. Mind blowing, right? And the fifth dimension, oh boy, this is where things get really exciting. In fifth dimensional consciousness, we start to tap into abilities that might seem supernatural by today's standards. Intuition becomes sharper. We become more attuned to the energies around us. Some people even report experiences of telepathy or precognition. Now, I can almost hear the collective, yeah, right, echoing through the audience. But hold your horses, skeptics, because this isn't just some new age fantasy. There's actual science backing this up. Recent research suggests that consciousness may have evolved not just to benefit individuals, but to facilitate social adaptive functions. In other words, our ability to be aware, to think, to feel. It's not just about individual survival. It's about our ability to connect with others, to share ideas and feelings, to create societies and cultures. This research proposes that subjective awareness, our ability to have inner experiences, evolved to promote both individual and species survival. It's a tool for social cohesion and collective evolution. And now, as we enter the age of Aquarius, we're seeing this play out on a global scale. Think about how interconnected our world has become. Through technology, we can instantly communicate with people on the other side of the planet. We can share ideas, collaborate on projects, and create movements that span continents. This isn't just technological progress, it's a manifestation of our expanding consciousness. But here's where it gets really interesting. This shift in consciousness isn't just happening on a societal level, it's happening within each of us right now. And the way we engage with this shift can dramatically alter our personal reality and the world around us. Let me give you a mind-bending example. Have you ever had a day where everything just seemed to float, where opportunities appeared out of nowhere, where you felt in perfect sync with the world around you? That's not just good luck. That's you tapping into higher dimensional consciousness. On the flip side, have you ever had a day where everything went wrong, where you felt like the universe was conspiring against you? That's what happens when we're stuck in lower dimensional thinking, seeing ourselves as separate from the world around us. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. That's all well and good, but I've got bills to pay and a job to do. I can't just sit around contemplating the cosmos all day. And you're absolutely right. The beauty of this shift in consciousness is that it's not about escaping from the world. It's about engaging with it more fully, more consciously. Imagine approaching your work not just as a means to a paycheck, but as an opportunity to express your unique gifts and contribute to the evolution of humanity. Imagine approaching your relationships not from a place of need or fear, but from a place of abundance and love. Imagine making choices about what you eat, what you wear, how you move through the world with a full awareness of your interconnectedness with all life. This isn't just feel-good philosophy. It's a practical approach to creating a happier, healthier world. And it starts with each of us right here, right now. But I get it. This all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually put it into practice? How do we tap into this higher consciousness in our everyday lives? Well, my friends, that's where things get really exciting. Let's start with something simple. Your morning routine. How many of you reach for your phone the moment you wake up, immediately bombarding your mind with information and stimuli? Yeah, I see those guilty looks. What if instead you took a few moments to set your intention for the day, to connect with your inner self and the world around you? It doesn't have to be complicated. It could be as simple as taking a few deep breaths and saying to yourself, today I choose to be aware. I choose to see the interconnectedness of all things. I choose to act from a place of love and abundance. Boom! You've just shifted your consciousness before you've even had your morning coffee. Or consider your interactions with others. In the age of Aquarius, we're called to move beyond superficial connections and ego-driven interactions. We're challenged to see the divine in every person we meet, to approach each interaction with compassion and understanding. Now, I'm not saying you have to start hugging strangers on the street, although if that's your thing, go for it. But what if in your next conversation, you really listen? not just waiting for your turn to speak, but really hearing the person in front of you? What if you approach each interaction with curiosity, wondering what you might learn, how you might grow? And let's talk about food for a moment. In the age of Aquarius, what we put into our bodies takes on a whole new significance. It's not just about calories and nutrients anymore. It's about energy, about our connection to the earth and all living beings. This is where principles like veganism come into play. Now, before all you bacon lovers out there start booing, hear me out. Choosing a plant based diet isn't just about animal rights or personal health, although those are important aspects. It's about recognizing our interconnectedness with all life on this planet. It's about making choices that align with a higher consciousness, choices that reflect an understanding of our impact on the world. But here's the thing, this isn't about guilt or shame. It's not about being perfect. It's about being aware. It's about making conscious choices. Maybe you're not ready to go full vegan. That's okay. Maybe you start with one meatless meal a week, or maybe you simply take a moment before each meal to really appreciate where your food came from, the energy and resources that went into producing it. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. This all sounds great, but I'm just one person. How can my choices really make a difference? Well, my friends, let me introduce you to a little concept called the butterfly effect. The butterfly effect in chaos theory suggests that a small change in one state of a deterministic nonlinear system can result in large differences in a later state. In other words, a butterfly flapping its wings in Brazil can set off a tornado in Texas. Now, I'm not suggesting that choosing a salad for lunch is going to solve world hunger. But every choice we make, every action we take sends ripples out into the world. And in the age of Aquarius, as our consciousness expands, those ripples become more powerful. Imagine if everyone listening to this talk made one conscious choice today, one choice to act from a place of love instead of fear, one choice to see the interconnectedness of all things, one choice to step into their power as a co-creator of reality. The collective impact would be staggering. But here's the really exciting part. As we expand our consciousness, as we step into this new way of being, we start to tap into abilities that might seem supernatural by today's standards. Remember that fifth dimensional consciousness we talked about earlier? This is where it gets really fun. People who have tapped into this higher consciousness report experiences that sound like something out of a sci-fi movie. Increased intuition, so strong it's almost like reading minds. Synchronicities that defy explanation. Some even report experiences of remote viewing or precognition. Now, I'm not saying that expanding your consciousness will suddenly give you superpowers, although how cool would that be? But what it does do is open you up to possibilities you might never have imagined before. It allows you to perceive and interact with the world in entirely new ways. But let's bring this back down to earth for a moment, because the real magic of the age of Aquarius isn't about developing psychic powers or bending spoons with your mind, although if you figure out how to do that, please let me know. The real magic is in how it transforms our everyday lives. Imagine approaching your work not as a chore, but as a canvas for your creativity. Imagine relationships based on mutual growth and support rather than need or obligation. Imagine a world where we make decisions based not just on short term gain, but on the long term well being of all life on this planet. This isn't some far off utopia. This is a reality that's available to us right now. But here's the catch, it requires us to step up. It requires us to take responsibility for our consciousness, for our choices, for our reality. In the age of Aquarius, we're not passive observers in this cosmic drama. We're active participants. We're co creators of our reality. And that, my friends, is both thrilling and terrifying. It's thrilling because it means we have the power to shape our lives and our world in ways we might never have imagined. But it's also terrifying because it means we can't blame anyone else for our reality. We can't point fingers at the government or society or our parents or Mercury being in retrograde. We have to own our power and our choices. But here's the beautiful thing. As we step into this power, as we embrace our role as conscious creators, we start to experience life in a whole new way. Challenges become opportunities for growth. Setbacks become setups for comebacks. Every moment becomes infused with possibility and potential. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but the world seems pretty messed up right now. How can you be so optimistic? And you're right, we're facing some pretty big challenges as a species: climate change, social inequality, political division. The list goes on. But here's the thing: these challenges aren't separate from the shift we're discussing, they're part of it. They're the old systems breaking down as new ones emerge. They're the labor pains of a new world being born. And yes, it can be uncomfortable. Growth often is. But remember, discomfort is not the same as danger. What feels like chaos is often the precursor to a new order. What looks like destruction is often the first step in creation. So, how do we navigate these turbulent times? How do we ride the waves of change instead of being overwhelmed by them? The answer lies in the very principles we've been discussing. First, we stay aware. We don't turn away from the challenges we're facing, but we also don't let them define our reality. We acknowledge them, but we also look for the opportunities they present. Second, we stay connected, not just to each other, but to the earth, to all life. We remember that we're not separate from nature, but part of it. We make choices that reflect this interconnectedness. Third, we stay open, open to new ideas, new ways of thinking, new possibilities. We question our assumptions. We challenge our beliefs. We stay curious. And finally, we take action, not from a place of fear or anger, but from a place of love and purpose. We ask ourselves, how can I contribute? How can I use my unique gifts to serve the greater good? One, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a thought. The age of Aquarius isn't some far off future we're waiting for. It's happening right now. And each one of us has a role to play in shaping it. We have the power to create a world of greater harmony, consciousness, and well being. The question is, how will you use that power? Will you stay stuck in old patterns, viewing the world through the lens of separation and scarcity? Or will you embrace this new consciousness, seeing the world as interconnected and abundant? Will you let fear hold you back, keeping you small and limited? Or will you step into your power as a conscious creator, shaping your reality with every thought, every word, every action? Will you be a passive observer watching as the world changes around you? Or will you be an active participant co creating the future you want to see? The choice is yours, and make no mistake, it is a choice. Every moment of every day, you're choosing the reality you want to live in. You're choosing the world you want to create. So I challenge you, choose consciously, choose wisely, choose love over fear, choose connection over separation, choose possibility over limitation. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. We're all in this together, riding the waves of change, co-creating this new reality. So reach out, connect, share your experiences, your challenges, your triumphs, explore these ideas further. Dive into Dr. Makeba Moring's work. Check out her book on vegan remedies and recipes. Tune into her podcast, The Dr. Makeba Show. But don't just consume information, put it into practice. Experiment, play, see what resonates with you. The age of Aquarius is here, my friends. The future is in our hands. The time to awaken is now. So let's step into our power. Let's expand our consciousness. Let's create a world that reflects our highest potential. Remember, in the grand cosmic dance, you're not just a wallflower, you're a star performer. So shine bright, dance with abandon, and let's co create a future that's more magnificent than we can even imagine. Thank you for joining me on this cosmic journey. Now go forth and consciously create. The universe is waiting for your unique contribution. Let's make it legendary.